Hi everyone, welcome to Monica's Singapore kitchen. Today I'll be cooking Sambal Belacan, which is Malay for spicy fermented shrimp paste. This condiment is commonly used in Malaysian, Singaporean and Indonesian cuisine. The main ingredients are chilies, belacan and lime juice. People over here love their Sambal Belacan for its spicy flavors, versatility and umami taste. Come along with me to see how this condiment is prepared. Here I have 150 grams of dried chilies. This is very easy to find in Malaysia, Singapore and Indonesia. If you are not staying in these countries, you can most likely find it in Asian supermarkets or online. We need to soak this in hot water for 30 minutes to hydrate and soften it. So this is a very important step, otherwise it's very hard to blend dried chilies. So pour enough of this hot water to cover our dried chilies. And after this, let's put this aside to let it do its thing. The next important ingredient is belacan or shrimp paste, which is a fermented condiment commonly used in Southeast Asian cuisine. It has a pungent and savory flavor and aroma. Belacan is usually sold in blocks, but nowadays you can also find the powdered variety. This block is 250 grams, but I need only 150 grams, so I will cut off 3/5 of it. Remember to remove the paper used to wrap it. We do not want extra ingredients in our Sambal Belacan. I am going to cut it into thinner pieces to facilitate with the toasting afterwards. So just cut it like that. I normally toast my belacan on a pan without any oil rather than in the oven or air fryer, as the strong odor lingers on for quite a while. Remember to open your window, turn on the range hood or kitchen exhaust fan while doing your pan frying. So arrange your belacan in a pan without any oil. We want to pan fry it to release its full flavor and aroma, transforming a potentially harsh pungent smell into a richer, more desirable taste. Toasting also mellows out its intensity and brings out the best qualities of our shrimp paste. Without toasting, the shrimp paste tends to overwhelm the dish with its raw odor. So dry toasting step is important to ensure that your Sambal Belacan does not have any pungent odor. So 2 minutes on each side over medium or medium-low heat, and then press it to gently break the belacan. We want to transform it into crumbly form. So if you see smoke coming out like that, you will turn the heat to low or medium-low, and continue to stir it until it is fragrant and a little bit charred. So it takes about, I would say, 5 minutes, depending on the level of fire that you are using. The belacan should develop a deeper color and become drier and crumblier in texture. So we are not quite there yet. We can still make it a bit more dry, and the crumbs can be a little bit smaller, so we can continue to press and break. Yep. So can you see that the color has darkened now and a little bit more powdery? Okay, now we are talking. Can you see that it's nice and dry, small crumbs, and so this is ready. So we're going to put this aside. So if you make a big batch of this, you can store it in your airtight container, put in the fridge, and as and when you need to use it, you can just drag it out and take the amount that you want. So it is a very versatile condiment. Okay. So now let us look at the ingredients to be blended. We need to have tomatoes, Bombay onions, candlenuts, shallots. I use shallots and Bombay onions to get the different flavors and tastes from these two different types of onions. This is garlic. And of course, we need fresh red chilies. So all these ingredients need to be roughly chopped. Yep, chopped into smaller pieces, and this will really help with the blending process. I have include the seeds of the red chilies because it will be a little bit more spicy than without the seeds. If you want it to be even more spicy, you can add bird's eye chili. Yep, so I don't add it here. I think it's enough spiciness at this point. Now we need to blend the ingredients, and I'm going to blend them in batches, starting with the dried chilies. So we do not want to pile too many types of ingredients in our blender, so it's very hard to rotate. So just do it in batches. Yep, starting with this dried chilies first. Add a bit of water, that really helps. I like my sambal to be smooth, fine and silky. Yep, something like this. If you prefer your sambal to be grittier, you can use the pulse mode of your blender. Okay, something like this. Let's just put it aside in a big bowl. And then we will continue with our second batch of spices, which consists of tomatoes and our fresh red chilies. For this, you can add a bit of water, or you can omit the water because the tomatoes have lots of water, so it really helps with the blending process from the water already in existence in our tomatoes. Okay, so as usual, smooth, fine and silky. Okay, down to our last batch. It's important to ensure that this last batch is fine, so because we do not want to bite into chunks of candle nuts. So add a bit of water, and we are going to blitz it until it is really nice, fine and silky. Okay, something like that. You see, it looks very creamy. Yep, and there are no big chunks of candle nuts. Alright, so let's pour it to join the rest of our components of our paste. So at this point, we need to mix all these components well. So mix, mix, mix. And don't forget our toasted Sambal Belacan. Yep. So this is a good time to add this toasted Sambal Belacan. So we're going to put all in. Okay, once it's nicely mixed, we are ready to cook and stir fry our Sambal Belacan. So let's get the pan ready and heat up 300 milliliters of oil. So once the oil is hot, pour in our sambal paste. Our plan is to stir fry this paste for 20 minutes over medium heat. Initially, you can use medium heat because there is not much chance of it getting burned because it has a lot of water. But later on, in the second half, I think it would be much wiser to turn down the heat to medium-low. Yep. So 10 minutes later, our sambal is drier as most of the water added during the blending process has evaporated. We are not quite there yet, so continue to stir fry over medium heat. 20 minutes later, our sambal is even drier, the color has darkened, the oil has separated from the paste, and we can detect a delicious sambal aroma. So it's time for us to add the seasonings, which comprise of sugar, tomato sauce, chili sauce, and 2 teaspoons of anchovies powder. So stir fry it for another 2 minutes to ensure that the sugar has melted and all the ingredients are nicely incorporated. So then we need to taste. You notice that I did not add any salt, as the main source of saltiness is from the shrimp paste. I like my sambal to be less salty. If you want taste a bit more salty, you can add a bit more salt. It tastes real good. Okay. Alright, our sambal belacan is ready. We normally enjoy this sambal with rice, noodles, soups, stews, or it can be paired with grilled and pan-fried seafoods, or as dipping sauce for blanched vegetables, and of course our nasi goreng cannot be called nasi goreng without sambal belacan. It is such a versatile condiment that can whet one's appetite and adds oomph to our meal. Many Malaysians and Singaporeans cannot leave home without Sambal Belacan. When you want to enjoy this condiment, just take a few teaspoons per person and put it on a side small dish, small saucer. Then squeeze half a local lime and mix these together. You notice that the fresh lime juice is always added just before you enjoy the Sambal Belacan and not added during the cooking process, because cooking lime juice can significantly diminish its flavor and brightness, resulting in a duller taste and potentially a slightly bitter aftertaste. So all you have to do is to mix it well. It looks so good, don't you think so? Yeah, just pop the other half of the lime with our sambal. Storage. Store Sambal Belacan in a clean, dry, airtight container and keep inside the refrigerator. It can last for a couple of weeks. If you make it in a large batch, you can also freeze it. It can last up to 6 months. Hope you will give this recipe a try someday. Thanks for stopping by, and as always, happy cooking!